It's your boy Concertviz34. It's concert review time. That's what I do when I go to concerts. It's been a bit, I don't know, about a month since Citizen Cope, and I'm back in the same venue, College Street Music Hall. Yesterday, this past Saturday, May 18th, I saw Johnnyswim. We're going to talk about that. Shout out to College Street Music Hall in the wonderful city of New Haven. Always fun to take that 45-minute drive down from Harford County to there. Best pizza in the world. And speaking of that, Amanda, part of the duo Johnnyswim, her and her husband, Mr. Abner Ramirez, they make up Johnnyswim. Amanda actually lived in Connecticut for a little bit. I believe it's in the early 90s from different research I did here online that she stayed for about 4 years here, and she lived in Trumbull, which is right in New Haven area, not too far away. She talked about the amazing Pepe's Pizza, the best pizza in the world. To me, I love Pepe's. And I've had all sorts of New Haven pizza. She talked about having sleepovers with her friends, and at her friend's house, their parents would buy an extra pizza pie, from Pepe's, and they would have that just for the morning. So they would eat pizza during that night. The next morning, they had a full pie, nice there for them to eat in the morning. And that made me hungry. That's my only complaint about the show, is they talked about Pepe's Pizza, even though she was shouting out the local culture of pizza in New Haven. I was hungry. Your boy was hungry, so that's the only complaint. But Johnnyswim, what do they do? Who are they? Johnnyswim is a duo. Abner Ramirez and Amanda Sudano, they are married, and they formed in 2005. They started in a songwriting clinic or something like that, and then boom, Johnnyswim is born. They weren't married at the time. They do get married later on, and they grind, okay? They grind. '05, they start their first albums in 2014, and their first charting iTunes album is this year, 2019. That is a shame because all of their albums are amazing, and everything they played last night in New Haven, Connecticut it was very impressive to me. And your boy goes to everything, okay? I go to, I got my Allman Brothers behind there. I go to J. Cole. I go to Elton John. I did that back to back in a week span of 7 days. I went to Elton John and I went to J. Cole. I was just like, all right, that's what I do. I got my Dave Matthews there. I got my Billy Joel. I used to go Linkin Park, and I used to go see alternative rock, stuff. R.I.P. to Chris Cornell. Saw him. I go to everything. I've seen music, and yeah, I'm still young, but I'm eclectic. But these folks, Johnnyswim, not only were they good, but they were eclectic too. They did a little bit of folk, they did a little bit of soul and bluesish. They did a little pop, they did alternative rock. And my boy, Mr. Abner Ramirez, he is doing this crazy, the percussion tap, harmonic tap on the string back to the percussion tap, and he's singing. I'm like, dang. And people do this all the time. Not all the time, but people, you see these in these special videos. But the homie is doing this live while he's trying to sing very, very, very challenging, vocal ranges. So I was impressed. They're very great live, and the versatility is what makes this a great live show. Okay, they start off with Flowers from their new album, Moonlight. Go check it out. It just came out about a month ago. They start off with that. It's just Abner playing on his electric guitar with a nice deep tone, and then he's singing, and then his wife Amanda is singing too. By the way, Amanda is the daughter of Donna Summers, rest in peace to her, and her father too is a talented musician. So she comes from a family of musicians, and Abner, her husband, his parents aren't famous musicians, but the dude could play, like I said, doing all sorts of stuff. But they start off and they expose themselves to risk because they don't have a full band. There's no backing track. They literally have a guitar. Abner Ramirez on guitar, and then Amanda, his wife, singing. They're singing back and forth, and it was just beautiful. The vocal talent of this show was impressive. By the way, Amanda also had some, just congestion and, cough, throat stuff going on, which a lot of musicians have this time of year with the pollen and things going on. But you wouldn't even know. If she didn't tell us during the show, we wouldn't even know if she sounded great, and her husband sounded great as well. So Johnnyswim just, the vocal talent, the musical talent was there. And the versatility starts off with just the electric guitar on the first joint. They do add a little more for the second joint. And by the third joint, there's a full band behind them that's revealed. So they go full band. They go back to stuff acoustically. They go songs that start acoustic, then they go full band. They go back to acoustic, and then they come into the crowd. By the way, artists do this all the time, but they do them in stadiums and arenas. They didn't have to do this in a very, very tightly packed College Street Music Hall in the GA floor. They come in to the floor and say, no, we're going to get even closer to you guys. We're going to high five you guys. We're going to go out of our way to greet you and appreciate you as the fans. That's something I really thought was cool. They're literally in the middle of a crowd of people having a little acoustic jam session, and again, showing the vocal talent. We don't have the full band pulled up. It's just us and acoustic guitar like we're sitting by the subway trying to make money. And they did great. And, that's what, it was a cool moment there when they did that. And two people proposed their awareness of their crowd. They grabbed phones from the front row, Amanda did, and she took pictures, selfies in the middle of the show, showing her appreciation. That's what people wanted to have. Two couples get married in the show, and they acknowledge both of them. They dedicated the next song to one of them, and they're so aware of their crowd, but they're so in their zone. And the thing about them is they have chemistry. Not every couple has chemistry. I'm not going to say names and diss any couples that don't have that good of chemistry, but I can think of them right now. Many of them are famous. But they have true chemistry. They look at each other. They know each other. Amanda has a cold, so, her husband, Abner, is looking at, making sure she's okay. And they have such a vibe that it's so in sync. And it reminds me of Susan Tedeschi and Derek Trucks, Tedeschi Trucks Band. It reminds me of Chris Stapleton and Morgan Stapleton for Chris Stapleton's traveling, acts when he does his touring. I mean, it's very, very hard to find, but they got it. And you know what's funny? From between Chris Stapleton and his beautiful wife, Morgan, and with Abner Ramirez and his wife, Amanda, it's amazing to see these two examples of people that are in Nashville trying to make it, not getting their shot. They're not trying to be some fake honky tonk country, blah, 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 thing that will sell to like people who are gullible. They're just making their music that's true and authentic. It's nice to see these success stories. Chris Stapleton and his wife Morgan having a lot of success now. And now Johnnyswim getting on the iTunes charts for the first week, getting exposure. These are two examples of songwriters that fell in love, got married, and they have true chemistry. And that's what's nice to see, and you see it in the shows. Another thing that was nice is they changed up their mics. They had a mic that just had more of an area that it could pick up signal from, so they could both sing into it. Avid Brothers do that. They had the regular, typical mics where you got to get up close. And then Abner does a solo song, solo little piece by himself, and he has a little bit of effects or modulation in the sound and in his guitar. His guitar matches, and I pick up stuff like that, which is cool. That not only was the sound modulated in his mic, but his guitar was mixed right or blended right to have an effect too. So that was a pretty cool thing. But Johnnyswim, I highly suggest listen to their music. Now here's what's interesting. I didn't know about them until my good friend John Dix from the Nashville area told me about them, and we met through Dave Matthews Band fandom. So, I'm told about this. I don't even think I'm going to this show. I can't find it. I'm single. I'm not finding a date, and I found a date to go with to this show last night. But I wasn't expecting to go to the show till last minute. I'm like, I got to pay day of ticket price. Tickets were only $30. These two people in the band they have is worth well over $30, but it's an affordable show. And that's what I was like, wow, I paid $30 plus, some late fees because last minute plans, I understand game. But it was a great show. I got my money's worth and more. And the versatility of Johnnyswim is what I love. And it's something that you're seeing with a lot of acts that are making it now. They're not rock or pop or folk. They have a wide range. They have family members. They bring cultures that they grew up with. They bring cultures from their city they grew up in, and they have it all together. And by the way, one of the songs that we have here from the new album, Marietta, is about the hometown of Abner Ramirez. And he has a rock feel to it, and it's more rock than some of the stuff they typically do, which was really cool. So, they really have their experiences and their cultures and their songwriting history, the trials and errors they've probably been through has made great music. And you know, I'm always preaching on this video log or whatever you want to talk about, whatever I have here, Concertviz 34. I'm always talking about how is your third album? How is your fourth album? Are you still making quality music? Well, you know what? This was a tour that had Moonlight as the feature. I think all the songs, or a majority of the songs, were played from Moonlight. And Moonlight live translates well live, and it's great, just as good as their older stuff. So they've made stuff years ago, and they're making stuff in 2019 after getting married, having kids, having all these new responsibilities, and having a little bit more fame, and they still got the songwriting on point. And that's what I love from bands, is if you can get me on the third or fourth album, then I respect that, because there's certain artists, they get to their third album, I don't want to hear your new stuff. I'm sorry, it's not good. It's not quality. But what Johnnyswim has produced, excuse me, in their third album with Moonlight, it's only taking their music to the next level. And you know, this band coming out of Nashville, having the Ryman be a regular, and that's a big venue out there. You know, the Ryman is that joint. You know, the Ryman is one of those venues that is if you make it there in Nashville, you make it to the Ryman, you made it to the Beacon Theater in New York City or the Wang Theater in Boston. It's like that is the crown jewel to play in for an aspiring singer-songwriter, individual or group or band. So, you know, great things here from Johnnyswim. If you're following me and you just come for my other talk, my other music, check out Johnnyswim, iTunes. Support them. Buy their physical album in stores. Buy their album on iTunes. If you like it, because we got to support these artists like this amazing duo Johnnyswim, that it's about the music. They have cool effects, but the music stands. They could have everything cut off, the power could go out in the venue, and they could sing a cappella and it sounds beautiful. So that's what I got to say about Johnnyswim. It's your boy Concertviz 34. Definitely like, comment, subscribe. And Johnnyswim, College Street Music Hall, thank you for putting together a great show, entertaining me on a Saturday night for 30 bucks. I mean, you can't beat that. I mean, some people who suck charge 70, 80 bucks, 30 bucks plus fees. Hey, it was worth it. All right, that's it. Peace.